Number 1. Tamatoa, Moana. Tamatoa is a colossal bioluminescent coconut crab measuring over 50 feet in length. His exoskeleton is coated in an impenetrable shell of stolen treasures, coins, jewels, even magical artifacts, all fused into glittering gilded armor. This doesn't just deflect physical attacks, it laughs at them. Conventional capture tools bounce off of him like ping pong balls off of a tank. His pincers have the crushing force to pulverize stone, and his long, spindly legs let him scuttle up vertical surfaces at speeds that defy logic. Tamatoa isn't just armored. He's fast, flashy, and terrifyingly agile. He's built for ambush in the low-light abyss of Lolotai, the interdimensional monster realm he calls home, a place so dark and dangerous, even nightmares need flashlights. Containment is nearly impossible due to two critical factors: habitat control and behavior response. Lolotai isn't just a location you can map. It's a supernatural domain that requires magical intervention to access. There are no fences, no borders, no walls you can build in a place where physics forgets to show up. And even if extraction were possible, Tamatoa's behavioral profile is a problem unto itself. He doesn't get scared, he gets mad. Provocation, especially any attempt to remove his shiny armor, triggers violent berserker-level rage. He'll flail, roar, and weaponize his bioluminescence to blind, disorient, and destroy. Imagine being mauled by a disco ball with trauma. But what makes Tamatoa truly uncontainable isn't his size or strength. It's his ego. His identity is welded into his treasure. He doesn't just hoard valuables, he sees them as proof of his superiority. Remove a gemstone and you're not just stealing from him, you're attacking his entire self-worth. This psychological dependency turns every containment strategy into a personal insult, which means resistance guaranteed, escalation immediate. It's like trying to ground a narcissist who's also a tank. Even if you somehow manage to cage him, you've only hit pause. Tamatoa is cunning, patient, manipulative. His obsessive personality ensures that escape is inevitable, either through brute force or psychological warfare. He will break out, or worse, he'll convince someone else to do it for him. Hey, wanna be rich and traumatized? He's a 50-foot armored crab with strength, speed, and unresolved insecurity issues. Good luck locking that down, and don't expect your cage to sparkle afterward. Number 2, the Headless Horseman, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. The Headless Horseman is not a man, a ghost, or even a monster in the traditional sense. He's a curse-given form, a supernatural executioner stitched together from fear, folklore, in the darkest corners of the American imagination. He doesn't speak, he doesn't hesitate, he doesn't miss. Clad in shadow black armor and riding a thunderous spectral stallion with glowing red eyes, he emerges from the night like a living nightmare, slicing through fog and silence with the echo of hooves and the promise of death. He's what happens when urban legends hit their final evolution. And the most terrifying part? He has no head. In its place, a flaming jack-o'-lantern, his calling card, his weapon, and his face, all in one. He wields it like a fireball of judgment, launching it with the force of divine retribution. It doesn't just burn, it seeks. It locks onto fear like a predator and follows through the trees, around corners, and straight into your soul. You don't dodge the pumpkin. You delay the inevitable. Containment? That assumes he plays by rules. He does not. The Headless Horseman isn't bound by the laws of the physical world. He doesn't breathe, doesn't bleed, and doesn't decay. His body, if you can even call it that, operates like a ghost in armor, immune to gravity, pain, or time. He phases in and out of reality at will, appearing in dark, wooded roads or fog-covered paths with no warning and less mercy. He can't be tracked by heat signature or motion sensor. You can't intercept him because he's not traveling. He's manifesting. Try catching smoke that rides a demon horse. His mount is just as terrifying. That stallion isn't a horse. It's a war machine made of shadow, steam, and infernal rage. It doesn't tire. It doesn't stumble. It barrels through forests, bolts over rivers, and shatters fences like they're toothpicks. Bullets don't slow it. Walls don't stop it. It's not made of muscle. It's made of momentum. Rider and steed move as one fluid unit, a nightmare cavalry with no brakes. You're not outrunning them. You're just dying tired. There's no known origin, no spell, no contract, no grave to dig up and salt. The horseman doesn't want land, revenge, or treasure. He doesn't issue warnings. He doesn't have a plan. He rides with a singular purpose, to execute. Anyone, anywhere, anytime darkness and isolation align. Psychologically, that's what makes him unstoppable. He's not a villain with a motive. He's a phenomenon. You don't trap him. You don't negotiate. You don't even understand what rules he operates by. You simply pray you're not the one he's riding for. And if you hear hooves behind you on a lonely road, don't turn around. Because if you see him, he's already seen you. Number 3, Madame Mim, transformed, the sword in the stone. Madame Mim, in her transformed state, is less a sorceress and more a walking, cackling disaster simulator. She doesn't just wield magic, she becomes it. Unfiltered, unhinged, unapologetically unstable. During her legendary shape-shifting duel with Merlin, she transforms to a dragon, a tiger, a crocodile, a snake, a rhino, and yes, even a literal microscopic virus. Each form carries its own arsenal of strengths, fire-breathing, fangs, venom, brute force, or invisibility. And she shifts between them with zero warning, zero cooldown, and maximum chaos. She's basically a spellbook that downloaded a virus and decided to lean in. Her magic isn't elegant or structured. It's reactive, emotional, unpredictable. Containment is a joke in this scenario. Physical restraints? Irrelevant. She can shrink to flea size, slither through keyholes, or turn into smoke and casually exit through a crack in the wall. Magical wards? Useless. Unless they're designed to cover every possible life form from dinosaur to dust mite. And even then, good luck predicting her next form. She's the magical equivalent of whack-a-mole with bloodlust. Worse, she doesn't just escape. She mocks you while doing it. Trying to trap Mem is like trying to hold a thunderstorm in a lunchbox while it tells you you're ugly. She doesn't fear capture. She enjoys turning your containment system into a joke. She'll shapeshift mid-sentence, cackle in your face, and fly off as a bat just to prove she can. She's what happens when Looney Tunes meets dark sorcery. Psychologically, she's driven by mischief, vanity, and unfiltered spite. She's not in it for power or conquest or treasure. She's in it to win, to humiliate her opponent, to cause maximum mayhem while having the time of her life. She lives for loopholes, mocks logic, and thrives on unpredictability. You can't bribe her, she's too chaotic. You can't reason with her, she's too busy laughing at your plan. Even Merlin, one of the most powerful wizards in Disney canon, barely outwitted her. And only by exploiting a single, very specific magical loophole, which she immediately called cheating. She's a glitch in the magical matrix, a one-woman extinction event in funhouse form. Containment isn't just unlikely, it's philosophically incompatible with her existence. If magic had a fever dream, it would look like Madame Mim. Number 4, the Giant, Mickey and the Beanstalk. The Giant, known as Willie, is a shape-shifting, skyscraper-sized behemoth with the body of a storm and the brain of a toddler. Towering over mountains, buildings, and basic reality itself, he casually bends the laws of physics like they're suggestions. He speaks with a cheerful, dopey tone and waddles like he's late for recess. But don't let the clumsiness fool you. Willie is absurdly powerful. He can crush boulders with his fingertips, flatten castles with a sneeze, and transform anything, or anyone, into a completely different object with no incantation, no prep, and no warning. He once turned a goat into a car because he felt like driving. Containment isn't just difficult, it's delusional. Willie doesn't escape cages, he redecorates them. His reality warping magic allows him to shapeshift himself and his environment on instinct. Lock him in iron chains, he snacks on them. Trap him in a steel vault, he turns it into a chicken coop with working windows and lays down for a nap. You don't contain Willie, you just give him interior design prompts. Even magical barriers crumble underneath his whims. He turns restraints into trumpets, pies, or instruments for impromptu dance parties until the walls collapse from sheer chaos. But what truly makes the giant uncontainable is his mindset. Willie isn't evil, he's just dangerously playful. He doesn't grasp consequences. He doesn't need to. To him, people are toys, towns are puzzles. Everything else is just part of the background music to whatever goofy idea pops into his head next. You can't reason with him. He forgets what the conversation was about halfway through. You can't bribe him. He'll trade your kingdom for a larger sandwich. He's a toddler with god powers and zero impulse control. Even in the rare miracle that you managed to subdue him, sedated, trapped, or distracted by an especially shiny object, the threat doesn't end. Willie gets bored, fast, and when he's bored, things happen. He'll start rearranging reality like a fidget toy, floating into the air, juggling livestock, turning walls into bubblegum just to see if they squeak. He doesn't escape because he's angry. He escapes because he wonders what ceilings taste like. Spoiler, they're now strawberry flavored.